What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of Pips and Points. I'm your host, Jono, and today we're just going to talk about the NAS100, which is what we always talk about, the NAS100. So before I get into it, I want to say a shout out to all my Pip Tonights. These guys are my subscribers. Guys, massive love goes out to all of you. And I want to say a shout out to all the new guys that found this channel for the first time. Guys, welcome to Pips and Points. On this channel, we talk about the NAS100. I give my personal view on how I plan to navigate the NAS100. In this video, you may find some useful tips that you could use to benefit yourself, which is fantastic. But however, it is important that you do know that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice, and it is super important that you do your own research. So with that said, we're just going to get straight into it. So on Monday, there was a couple of things that we talked about in regards to where I thought the market was going to go, and the market was in the zone that I'm after. Okay, so now that it's in the zone that I'm after, I'm preparing. I'm actually looking for buys right now, and I'm waiting for the best possible opportunity to get in for a buy. At the moment, I haven't found any yet. It's just a whole bunch of sell opportunities, and obviously if you're selling the market, that is what you want to be doing. You want to be selling it, not buying it. But however, I'm looking for buy opportunities, so that's all I've got my eye out for right now. And at the moment, it's not the perfect time for me to get in, so I'm still sitting on my hands. Okay, so let's have a look to see exactly what has been happening in the world so far. So on Monday, I said that we'll be taking a look at the news on Forex Factory to find out what the news was. So we're just going to hit a quick refresh on this and see how it's coming. So this afternoon, so you see 8 a.m. on here, but it's actually 1:30 in the afternoon, right? 1:30 in the afternoon UK time, right? So 1:30, the news was released and they were all positive in regards to the CPI and the core CPI, right? But however, it still pushed market down. So market was consolidating this afternoon. So in the morning, if you had opened your chart and looked at it, you would have thought, especially if you looked at it on the daily, you would have thought that price would have been going up, okay, because of where it was, because it pushed all the way up and now it's flying back down again. So once the news was released, although the news was positive in regards to those the CPI reports, it had a negative impact on the market. And now the most likely zone for price to go to is this level down here, which is between 1123.2.58 and 10,945.67. So these are the zones the market is most likely to go into. And I had someone leave a comment in regards to a position that they've taken, and obviously I replied back, and it was the best reply I could possibly give, which is, if you're afraid, wait for it to break even and jump out and reassess the situation. But although he wanted financial advice, I really couldn't give it to him, because if it goes wrong, then he's going to say I told him that. So I just said, look, wait until it gets down, it breaks even, and then jump out, reassess the situation. So if you jumped out, obviously you would have broken even, because it did return back, right? And if you're still in, then fantastic. You followed your intuition, you followed your gut. So we're just going to bring in the components real quick. Actually, wait, as a matter of fact, I need to change the alert. I actually need to change the level of the alert so it is in line with what is going on. So as soon as I get what I'm looking for, I am in. As a matter of fact, let me get rid of this stuff. Okay, keep watermark on because we want that. Let's take off ceiling breaks. Okay. So where do I want my alert to be? Okay, so I went over here. Let's have a look, see what it says. Yep, it looks good. Okay, so I'm going to move my alert over here, and if price goes above this level of 1254, 7.27, then that'll be my cue to really start looking for that buying opportunity, because the signal that I'm looking for, that there is a good chance that it's going into an uptrend, I would have seen it, and then I'll be able to jump in on that. So that's the plan so far. So as price is falling, I haven't been doing anything, and believe it or not, I actually saw this price when it was pushing down this afternoon. Like literally, I literally could have jumped in, but one thing that I always try to do is follow my rules and follow my setup, and that basically means I miss opportunities, and the discipline in the end is what will serve you very well in the long term. So that's why I'm not in it, but I did see it, like no lie, I absolutely saw that move when it was happening, and I just didn't do anything. I just kept watching it. So we're going to jump into the components now, just to get an idea as to what we already know it's going to look, and it's all red. So without explaining what all this is, I mean, if you really want to know, you go back and watch all my other videos, and all of the information will be there. So just go and check it out. And so far, if you have found the content useful, just hit the like button. Just do that. Just hit the like button, drop a comment if you want, and if you find it really useful, hit the subscribe button. Okay, so as we can see, Tesla is going exactly where we thought it was going to go, right? And it's pushing all the way down, and I think it's going to go lower than these levels over here. It's actually going to go a lot lower than these levels over here. It's already broken this price action level right here, and it's still pushing down. Okay, so I still think it's going to go a lot lower. It is a sell market at the moment. Everything is flaming red, but however, I always have faith that market will return back to normal. Okay, and now Google is now consolidating. So it's consolidating at this level over here. So it's consolidating all down here, right? And how it looks, let me have a look to see if, yeah, I would say it's still going to push down a bit more. I would say it's still going to push down a bit more, which basically makes the chance of the NAS coming down to this level. So if I go to daily, so going by the two stocks that we've looked at, it makes it more likely that the NAS is going to come down to either this zone or this zone. It's one of the two. It's going to come down to one of these two zones, right? I'm not saying that this is absolutely set in stone, that what I'm saying is actually going to happen, but there is a good chance that this is going to happen, all right? And especially when we look at where price is right now, there isn't really any major price action levels from where it is. So let me give you a better look of this thing. So just zooming right here. So there isn't much of a price action level from where price is right now to this level over here, which is a zone from 11,225.03 to 10,986.62. So this is a zone. This is the first zone that it could go to, and then there's a second one underneath that, and we're going to concentrate on that once it gets to this zone, if it gets to this zone, right? And then obviously we then have to rejig this whole thing we've got going on over here, because then it's going to be something else. It's going to look completely different, and we're going to need to approach it a little bit differently. One way of how we could actually do the zone, right? One way of how I could actually do the zone is level it off this way, right? And if I do that, then we begin to see that the likelihood of this structure being completed down here is looking highly likely, and this is the level where it's the middle. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'm going to leave it like this, because at the moment it is making sense. I thought it was going to bounce at price. I thought it was going to bounce at this order block level right here, but it hasn't. It's breaking through, and now this is looking a little bit more like this is where it's most likely going to go, in my opinion. Okay, but obviously you do the homework and you make sure that it makes sense to you. So let's just go back to what we was looking at before. Actually, wait, as a matter of fact, let me save what we just done here, because this actually does look really good in terms of how it looks. It actually looks quite good. I like it. So we're going to keep that, and that could be some form of a guide that will help overall. So we're going to get rid of these lines as well. We don't need them anymore. And then we're just going to look at Tesla again, just make sure that it's looking right. Okay, so we've covered Tesla. Tesla's going down, we know that. Great. Google is consolidating, but it's consolidating in a way that I believe is going to push down. This push to the upside and all of a sudden it breaking all the way back down again tells me that it's going to be falling some more, in my opinion. We're going to keep an eye on that and see what that turns into, but I think it's going to fall some more, in my opinion. I think it's not done falling, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to put in this zone right here as a potential area it could go to after it breaks 2218.37. So now let's just take a look at Amazon, and Amazon has completely broken, and it's definitely heading down to 1637.38. So that's all we can do, is just wait to see what it does once it reaches that level. But it is falling. It is falling. Netflix 2 is also pointing downwards. It's not consolidating, and it's just cleared a price action level. Okay, so you can call that a support level, but yes, the price action level is cleared at, and it's now heading down to another price action level, right, which is over here. So this is the one that's cleared, right, and it's also cleared this one, and this is where it's at right now, and this is where it could go to. So Netflix is basically just falling through the air. It's just falling through the air like a stone. So we're going to see where that lands, and all of that has an impact on the overall direction of the NAS. Okay, all of that has an impact on the direction of the NAS. Like, it is important to pay attention to all of this stuff. Okay, so now as we look at Apple, we can see that there's a chance Apple's coming down to 138.87. So that is a place where Apple could potentially go. It's already completed the structure that I drew. All right, so it's at the bottom of it now. Is it going to push lower, so I have to rejig this, or is it going to bounce from where it is? That is something that we have to wait and see in the coming days to see what it does. I reckon, well, today is Wednesday, so I'm thinking price is going to continue to fall tomorrow, Thursday, right? And if there's any possible chance of a pull up to the upside, we might begin to see that on a Friday, in my opinion. But let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes, because the market is, everything is just red right now. So this is the drawing that we did for Facebook, right? And already it looks like it's completing it, but we'll find out what it does. So we're going to keep this drawing where it is. But as you can see, it's all pointed downwards, but this shape is promising for Facebook in the sense that if it does what I've drawn out here, okay, then it's going to be pushing to the upside, which then gives a bit of hope to all the other assets we're looking at, which means overall the NAS will be pushing up. Okay, and Microsoft has definitely cleared and it's pushing down. As I said on Monday, it was going to do that, and it is doing that. Same with Nvidia. That too is pushing down, and it's looking like it's going to be heading down to 135.34. And PayPal too is also pushing down. Okay. Right. And Pepsi is looking somewhat interesting. So let's see what it does. Let's see what Pepsi does, because Pepsi could keep going up or we could break from now. Okay, I mean the overall structure is considered a low, but let's just see what Pepsi does. So this little trend line that I've just drawn, that could get broken at some point, but at the moment it hasn't broken, but it could get broken. All right, and if it does, it further reinforces what we think the NAS might be doing. Okay, and EA is pushed up, which is good in a way. Okay, it will need to clear this area of 128.54. Once it clears that level and settles and begins to push back up, then we know we've got the move that I'm looking for, which is the push to the upside, because that's what I'm after. And then we have eBay, and eBay looks like it's got a lot of falling to do. So overall, the overall stats that we've got over all of these stocks that we've looked at is that the NAS is going to keep falling, and where it is, how it looks in regards to the position that it's in, confirms this. Okay, so what do I plan to do? Well, the moves I'm planning to make is quite simple. Okay, I'm waiting for a confirmation that price is going to be going up, and whilst price is falling, I'm just going to sit and watch, and that's all I'm going to do. I could jump in, yes, but I don't want to jump in. I want to wait and catch it on the upside, because I think the biggest rewards that we're going to get, that I'm going to get, okay, is the NAS on the rise to the upside. That's the biggest rewards, and right now, as it is right now, it is fantastic. So for individuals that are selling, that is great. Well done to you for collecting all those pips and all those points. And I believe it's going to go down even lower. So if you're selling, don't be too quick to jump out. Do you know what I mean? It's going in your favor. And if you sold around this zone over here, so I'm just draw it. Zoom in, sorry. If you sold around this zone over here where the mouse is, okay, you're in a very good position, because this here is a consolidation, okay, and it doesn't look like it's a weak consolidation. It looks like it'll be a strong one. So let's see what happens tomorrow in regards to the pullback to the upside, and if it continues to push back down. If it does, then naturally I would say hold the position, and if you haven't done so already, then I would say maybe bring in a trailing stop, because the closer we're getting to this particular zone over here, the closer we're getting to this order block zone, the higher the chance that there could be a very quick return to the upside, and you want to protect what you've gained. So with all that said and done, I want to thank you all for coming over and watching another episode of Pips and Points. I truly appreciate you for giving me your precious time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. This is Jono signing out.